I'm 30 years old, sitting at my desk in a windowless office at the University of Sydney. This was supposed to be the grand finale of my PhD journey, the start into a new successful decade of my life. I've been staring at the draft of my dissertation for hours. 8 months have passed since that feedback meeting with my advisor, and I haven't written another word. I cannot fail at this. Without a PhD, you're not even a human, they say jokingly in the academic circles. When I filled out my application for the research stay about a year ago, I clearly envisioned myself happy, free, as Dr. Ninja by now. But instead, I'm neither happy, nor free, nor Dr. Ninja. I hear my advisor telling me harshly, this still needs a lot of work. I don't know what you've been doing in the past 5 years, but I surely expected more of you. I bury my face in my hands and start to cry. I'm too far along to stop. What would everyone think of me? I'm 7 years old as I walk onto the stage with a fully packed auditorium. All eyes are glued on me as I sit down at the piano and start to play. I don't need notes. I know the songs by heart. I love being in the moment, feeling connected with myself, expressing my creativity. Being the center of attention at such a young age was something that became common. My teacher, Mrs. Hoffman, would pick me for all kinds of roles she needed to fill. Lead roles in class plays, singing publicly, and all the music concerts. I didn't give it much thought, but it turns out the other kids do. I'm 8 years old, sitting in my classroom. Ninja? A new teacher calls out, going through the name list. My heart sings, Ninja Turtle, Ninja Turtle. I hear the other kids chant, giggling. I force a smile, pretending it doesn't bother me, and raise my hand. This is one of the many times the other kids won't gang up on me, call me names, poke fun, ignore me. The more I was celebrated and put forward by my teachers, the more I was excluded by my school friends. You can't sit here. You're not invited. Guess what he told me were words I began to hear often. I didn't understand what I had done wrong, but I felt hurt, confused, powerless. Soon, I was totally left out, had to make friends outside my school, and cried a lot in my pillow. So, I decided I will win with my intellect and talents. I unleashed myself and went into full achievement mode. I grew a solid shell to protect my tender parts, closed my heart, went up to my head, and focused on performing. If they don't accept me for who I am, at least they can respect me for being the best. But now, in that windowless room, almost 6 years into a program I thought would take me 4, it has me question everything. Who am I if I'm not achieving? And if I'm being honest, I was asking, who am I? Thank God I get a video call from a friend back home in Germany. You look horrible. Where the hell are you? I tell her about the windowless office in Sydney, the negative feedback from my advisor, my writer's block, and panic attacks. You have to get out of there and let yourself off the hook, she commands. I resist at first, but then give in. What I'm doing is clearly not working. So I follow this thing. I think it's called my heart. The next weeks are dedicated to healing. not achieving. I practice yoga daily, spend time at the beach, and travel the Gold Coast, realizing how much I was missing by sitting in that windowless room. I love being in the moment, feeling connected with myself, expressing my creativity. When I come back home, I rewrite my thesis my way, disregard my advisor's feedback, and finish my PhD, summa cum laude. Woo! Yeah. I'm back on top. I learned my lesson, and I'm ready for my next adventure. Management consulting, here I come. It's my third day, and I'm buzzing with excitement. I know, this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. Here, I can show my full potential and get rewarded for it. I take a deep breath, determined to make a great impression and walk into my new boss's office. Good morning, I greet him with a confident smile, handing over a summary from a client meeting. Wanting to contribute, I also share with him that after my PhD, I took a yoga teacher training and would love to teach yoga to my fellow colleagues. He barely looks up. What for? He says, scanning the document with a frown. You better become a good consultant first before you teach yoga here. You will need to improve quite a lot in order to meet our standards. I surely expected more of you. I can barely hold back my tears until I reach the bathroom. I can't believe I'm feeling this way again. Shame, panic, all over me. So I run out and head to my sanctuary, the yoga studio. I roll out my mat, take a deep breath, and begin to calm down and soften. It feels good to be back in touch with myself. It is undeniable that the health and well-being path is for me, so I continue on it. I attend mindful leadership conferences, start practicing Zen meditation, and become a mindfulness-based systemic coach. I allow myself to work more from intuition than intellect and get into the flow. This kicks off a whole new way of working and being for me. Over time, I do start to teach yoga, coach clients, and lead resilience and mindfulness trainings. When I peek over the wall into the garden of health, well-being, balance, freedom, mindfulness, it is so enticing to go all in. But the seduction of achievement, doing it right, and winning the game is so powerful. And so 6+ years into my management consulting career, 2+ of being a working mom, I have to admit I'm burned out again. I feel the cold grass under my feet as I step into the labyrinth at the beautiful Buddhist monastery. It's October 2023, and I'm my third day of a Zen silent meditation retreat. The past 2 days have been hell. Sitting quietly on my cushion, waves of panic were washing over me as I replayed the events of last week. My boss's harsh criticism, my descent into anger and panic, and my eventual call admitting my burnout and need for a break. As I walk towards the labyrinth center, I feel more lost with each step. My Zen master's words echo in my mind. You probably had a trauma response. As these sink in, I remember the teasing, the rejection, the needing to win to show them. And then it hits me. I was never in control. It was my young protector part trying to prove herself to finally be loved and accepted. Standing there in the center of the labyrinth, I realize I have a choice. I can stay stuck here, feeling powerless. Or what if I thanked her, loved and accepted her, and set her free? So I turn around and walk back, taking a shortcut over the grass outside the lines, laughing at the absurdity of my bold action. Tears stream down my face. I dance and sing. I can see clearly now, the rain has gone. 6 weeks later, I walk the familiar path to my office, face my boss, share my feelings honestly, cry openly, and quit my job. I leave not just a job, but a whole identity, the overachieving, performance-driven ninja. I feel raw, naked. Who am I now? This is the start of a deep healing journey. I commit to following what feels good and to overcoming the patterns that have driven me to exhaustion again and again. I dive into coaching, therapy, spiritual practices, and gradually reconnect with parts of me I had locked away. The creative one, the wild one, the tender one. I clearly see the solid armor I grew to protect myself had actually disconnected me from my inner essence. My real power is my tenderness. I thrive from connection, not perfection. Breathe in, grow into your full greatness. Breathe out, release everything that no longer serves you. I watch my class of yoga students move with me, shedding tension, welcoming space. Here on my mat, teaching others, I'm not thinking, I'm feeling. I'm an open vessel, receiving inspiration and letting it flow through me. I'm no longer a ninja turtle hiding in a rigid shell. I'm leading with my heart, no longer winning with my mind. You know, it's a funny thing, my name, Ninja, does not only mean warrior, it also means little girl. I choose to embrace both, the power and the playfulness, and set my whole self free. As my class lays down in Shavasana, waves of gratefulness flush my body, creating and holding space where people can reconnect with their essence is my calling, not just on the yoga mat, but in business and in life. I know how it feels like to be locked up in a rigid shell, to play roles, to perform. I'm here to help unlocking others so they can bring their whole selves to life. I put my hands on my heart and feel my heart beat. I love being in the moment, feeling connected with myself, expressing my creativity. I'm no longer peering over the wall. I'm in the garden.